Are you ready to get candy-licious with this absolutely fantastic candy lollipop cake? Nyam Nyam will show you how. It's super easy. All you need is some chocolate cake and some black buttercream icing. We are going to layer it like so. Ooh, this looks delicious already. Let's use 3 layers. And load it up with buttercream icing. Let's cover the entire outside. Ooh, yes, lashings of it. Smoothing it over, as always, to create a nice smooth base for your decoration. And the top. Right, here comes the fun part. While that's chilling, we are going to melt some white chocolate and add food colouring. You'll do this several times in a few different bowls, creating all the different colours that you like, colours of the rainbow. Now use a paintbrush to just splash it all over the cake. Yellow, purple, pink, green, whatever colour you fancy. Get the kids involved. They are going to absolutely love making this cake. Add on your chopped up candy on top and some lollipops. Of course, you can add any candy or chocolate that you like. Oh my goodness, this definitely looks like something that Willy Wonka would make, don't you think? So much fun. And you get to eat it too? No way. Amazing! Lollipop-tastic. Nyam Nyam are going to show you how to turn your boring basic cake into a delight for the eyes, a candy treat for all to see. And here's how. Starting with your basic vanilla cake that you can easily bake at home or buy it from the store. Slice the top off and cut it in half. You might need a couple of these cakes if you want to layer it nice and tall in the end. So we're going to add some blue buttercream icing generously in between each layer. Smoothing it over with a flat knife or spatula. Layering it up there. So once they cut open that cake, it's going to have that gorgeous blue colour on the inside. We're going to completely cover our cake in blue buttercream icing, all the way around the edge and the top, and stick on some rainbow sprinkles along the bottom. Now for some pink coloured melted white chocolate to drizzle down the sides of our cake and cover the entire top. Gorgeous melted white chocolate going on there, just smoothing it over with a flat knife. And then we can stick on our candies using lollipops, candy canes, stick them in there, jelly beans, star sprinkles, anything you like really, to make it candelicious. This cake is an absolute delight for any child's birthday party, and I promise you, they are gonna love it. Go on, give it a try. You know you want to. Perfect for a summer's day. If you like ice cream, then this is the recipe for you. So, let's get started. Stick some cookies in a blender. We like to use digestive ones. They have a great flavour. These are going to go onto the base of our cake tin. Mash them down and squirt some whipping cream over that using a piping bag. Now, going to get some ice cream sandwiches, which obviously you pre-buy from the shop. Slice them in half and then stack them vertically over our whipping cream. So we're just going to keep doing this, using the whipping cream as a sort of glue to stick it all together. Our ice cream sandwiches that have all been cut in half are going to go in there, squirting more whipping cream in between the gaps to fill all the gaps up. And our final bit of ice cream sandwich goes in there. And there we have it. Now, more whipping cream goes over this, and it's going to be spread over the entirety of our cake, using a spatula to smooth it down, so I hope you like whipping cream. A few dollops of it on the top, some Kit Kat bites, some M&Ms, adding a lovely lush bit of colour there, and why not drizzle some chocolate sauce for a finishing touch. Fancy a slice? Quick, eat it before it melts! Cakes are ideal for celebrations, and what's a better way to celebrate birthdays or anniversaries than with a number cake? All you need is some buttercream and some food colouring. Mix it together in a mixing bowl. We're using red for our first number. You can be very generous with this. Now, slice a square vanilla cake into the following segments and place like so. And you have a number 1. We're going to just scoop on whole dollops of red buttercream icing, smoothing it over with a flat knife or spatula. Making sure to cover the edges of our number 1 as well as the top. We're being very generous with our buttercream icing here, making it nice and smooth. Now time to add our decoration using fondant. Black circles and semicircles go on to create a spotty effect, and some fondant ladybirds. You can theme these numbers using your favourite characters or animals. Little icing sugar flowers and leaves go on there. It's all in the presentation. There you have it. Ladybird number 1. Fancy a slice? Super easy to divide into your portions. And I'm sure it won't last too long. See, I told you so. Next, we're going to colour our buttercream using pink, light blue, and purple food colouring. Now, all 3 of these colours are going to go together side by side in the same food piping bag to create a beautiful kind of rainbowy mermaid effect. We've put a serrated edge nozzle on that, which will help us with our decorating. Now we're going to put some plain buttercream icing into a separate food piping bag with a plain nozzle. Get a round vanilla cake and just cut out a circle in the middle and slice like so. Placing the pieces to create the number 2. So we're just going to squirt on our buttercream icing, one small, delicate bit at a time, creating a meringue-like effect. We've got some fondant mermaid tails, which we're going to just stick in there and place our beautiful seashells too, using our mermaid rainbow buttercream icing to fill in the gaps, sprinkling a few sugar pearls, gold, white and purple. See, this one we don't even need to decorate around the edges, and it already looks beautiful. So if your little princess loves mermaids, then this is the cake for you. It's so easy to make these number cakes. You just need a little bit of imagination and creativity. And of course, a few pieces of fondant icing decoration. Next, we're going to colour our buttercream icing with yellow, dark green, and light green. Putting those into separate food piping bags this time. Using different style nozzles to create different effects. Getting our 2 round vanilla cake slices, cutting out a circle from the middle, and cutting like so to create, replacing them slightly. Now we're going to squirt on our yellow buttercream icing all along the top with a serrated edge. We're just going to smooth that over and cover the edges of our number 3 this time, just like we did with the number 1. Now, an icing border is going along the sides. Now, apart from looking pretty, these serve a purpose. We've mashed up some crackers, which we're going to add in between our icing borders. Nice crunchy effect on top there. Now we've got some little cactuses made out of our green fondant icing to decorate there on top of our crunchy sand. These have been made using our dark and light green icing that we had earlier. There, number 3. cactus in a desert. So you see, you can have a lot of fun with these number cakes. Really use your creativity and imagination. You can use textures as well as colours to create the perfect cake. 1, 2, 3, have a slice with me. For every occasion, number cakes are a winner. Are you nuts about donuts? Then this donut cake is for you. Covered in pink and pink inside too. All you need is 430 grams of cake mix in a mixing bowl with 3 eggs. 300 millilitres of milk go into that, and we whisk it up using an electric whisk to make it faster. Once that's ready, we're going to pour it into our bundt cake tin mould. Of course, this is to give us our donut shape. So that goes in the oven to bake at 170 degrees for 30 minutes. Rising perfectly. And once it's ready, we take it out of the oven and we're going to slice it in half. Next, we're using a spoon and scooping out the inside so as to create a kind of moat effect around our donut. Removing the crumbs, we're going to add our white chocolate ganache, which we have coloured bright pink on the inside. That way you get a nice surprise when you cut into it. So we're going to cover the outside of our donut with brown buttercream icing, nice chocolatey colour. Cover every part of it, and then pink fondant icing. Brush a bit of water on that, ready to stick on our rainbow sprinkles. And there you have it, a giant donut cake. Gorgeous, luscious pink with rainbow sprinkles, a feast for the eyes. Bright and colourful with a super gooey, surprisingly pink inside. Yummy! Want to go over the top this Halloween season? This monster cake is perfect. All you need is 250 grams of cake mix, 3 eggs, 30 millilitres of oil and 50 millilitres of water. Whisk away in a mixing bowl. Now we're going to pour half of that mixture into a cake mould, and the other half we're going to keep in the mixing bowl and add 50 grams of cocoa powder. That's going to make our chocolate cake mix. We'll pour that one into a separate cake mould. Brilliant. Now both of those will go in the oven to bake at 180 degrees for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, add 200 grams of sugar with 50 millilitres of water into a pot on the stove and let it simmer away. Now we add 180 grams of egg white with 30 grams of sugar to a mixing bowl and whisk it up till it becomes light and foamy. And we're going to add our sugar water mixture into that, a little bit at a time, whisking all the while. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract goes into there with 1/4 teaspoon of salt for some lovely flavour. 550 grams of butter finally. Whisk that all in. Fantastic. There's our Italian buttercream. Add some food colouring. We're using green and yellow. Meanwhile, your cakes have been taken out of the oven and we're slicing off the tops. Starting with our chocolate cake for the base, we're going to pipe on some Italian buttercream icing, smooth it out, and then layer it up with our vanilla cake and more Italian buttercream icing. And chocolate, slicing around the sides because we want to make a dome-like shape. Now we're going to pipe some green buttercream icing to cover the entirety of our cake shape and some fondant icing for the facial features. That's the fun part, stick it on. Now we're going to add our monster hair. That's right, we're using our green and our yellow buttercream icing, piping it on with a serrated edge nozzle to create a fur-like effect. All the way up to the top. And for a finishing touch, we'll add some horns. And how about a little tuft of hair? And there you have it, a fantastically happy Halloween monster. Delicious. To bake our flamingo cake, all you need is 430 grams of cake mix and 3 eggs, 70 millilitres of oil, 300 millilitres of milk in a mixing bowl. Whisk that together. Yummy. Now we have our cake mix ready. We're going to stick it in our bundt cake tin mould, sprayed lightly with oil to stop it from sticking. Now that goes in the oven to bake for 30 minutes at 170 degrees. And once it's ready and slightly cooled, we add pink buttercream icing, covering the top and the sides, smoothing it over. Right, now we can add our rainbow sprinkles. Beautiful. It looks just like a giant donut. Right, we get our pink fondant icing, ready to roll out and manipulate into our flamingo shape, making a thick sausage shape with a bendy bit there at the top. That's going to be our neck and head of the flamingo. Next, we're rolling a ball and moulding it with our hands into a kind of teardrop shape. Do this a few times. These are going to, in fact, be the wings and the tail. Next, we're going to get a wooden stick, perhaps a cocktail stick or something slightly longer, and stick that in each end of our flamingo neck. We're going to do the same with the tail and the wings. This is so that we can attach it to our cake. Now we're just adding on a white and black fondant beak there, plus a dab of water to stick on the eye. And there you have it, a flamingo head. Right, now those are going to be placed perfectly on our bundt cake. The bundt cake's going to be the body of the flamingo, and we're going to stick on our wings and our tail, and of course our head. And there you have it, a beautiful, colourful rainbow flamingo cake. Almost too good to eat. Almost.